Yo guys, what's up? Back with another trade recap slash weekly recap. In the last video, I said that I broke down a potential position on SPX that I was looking to take going into Friday of this week. To finish off the week, had a pretty good week from the 8th to the 12th. Second week of 2024 January. Yeah, been a pretty good start to the year. Went through three for three this week. Buys on GU at the start, which we broke down earlier in the week. Sells on gold on Thursday, I believe, with CPI. Those were pretty good. Setup did not last long at all. And then we took these SPX buys that I'm going to go into today. I think I'm just going to do like a recap of this week just in this video. And then before the daily close for next week, the daily open, for next week, I'll do a video forecasting week, or I might just do a recap like mid-week next week. I don't know. We'll have to see, because I've got other ideas for other videos as well, and I don't want to just keep on just pumping out the same content. So I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. But yeah, let's get straight into these SPX buys. So here we are on the daily. Previous daily candle, as you can see, is a major doji. That was Friday's candle when it closed. Major indecision. We also had like a bigger candle previously that basically was an indecisive candle also, where price broke the lows and the highs at the same time and closed weak bearish. Now, this was Thursday, like that candle there, this was Thursday and this was Friday, and I wasn't really concerned about taking trades on SPX before Wednesday, really, when the indication happened where we had volume in the markets on Wednesday. There was no news in New York session. This was just simply New York volume pushing price up, broke the highs, made a new high above here, and this is the indication that I wanted. I knew price, after making this indication, this huge bullish indication on the 4 hour, you can see it massively on the 1 hour, it would eventually correct back down towards this level, and it did so without breaking actually any major lows, because it remained above this 4735 level that we broke a lot of this down in the last video, but I'm just going to briefly go over it. So that's kind of what I was looking at, analysing price on Thursday, because Wednesday we had the indication, Thursday we had the correction. So I was looking at price here, pushing down in New York session on Thursday, and I was thinking, right, okay, price is setting up nicely for us to actually think of a position now. Throughout all the week on SPX, I did not see a single setup that I was willing to take until price closed back above here on Thursday night, and that's when I did the video, and we broke down what I wanted to happen. I wanted price, because we were talking here and price was extremely high. I wanted price to obviously slowly correct after that bullish impulsive move back above this level at the end of the session, because this is at the end of the day. This is, as you can see, the end of this orange beam is generally the end of the day. I think it's like 2 hours before daily close. So I know when this stops, that like I don't really want to be getting into a trade. Like, you don't want to be getting into a trade like really 3 hours before a close, because volume's going to die very quick. So I knew, although price was pushing back above here, it was the end of the session, and obviously we had the correction that we wanted. Now we just patiently wait to get in at the right place while in session. So I was simply just waiting price to come into session here, and price did nothing but range up until we got to the point of where PPI was about to drop at 12 p.m. GMT, which was, well, actually, PPI dropped at 1 p.m. 1:30 p.m. GMT, which is 8:30 p.m. Eastern, or 8:30 a.m. Eastern, sorry. And obviously at 7 a.m., around 7 a.m. Eastern, was when I was looking to potentially take buys back above this level, and that's what I seen. A very key thing happened on the hourly as well, like, because after this impulsive move happened, we created a clean higher time frame fair value gap, so I knew the price. Also, that gave me confirmation the price would eventually correct after this move here, so I was just patiently waiting. There was no need to be in buys here, as you can see, because price did nothing throughout the night. And this is why you want to avoid trading this in Asian session, because it's not really meant to be traded in Asian session. Although there might be volume sometimes, like here, there was volume in Asian session and London session leading up to New York session. So it will happen sometimes, but it's generally you don't want to be in a place where you're trading your pair or whatever it is out of session. Like, that's the main thing that I've noticed. It's a very key gem. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. There's still going to be those odd people that trade indices in Asian session. It just doesn't make sense. So I mainly focus on New York session. I'm looking at the New York session of every single day in a week. So from Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was monitoring all these New York sessions in indices, and obviously when I came to the markets on Monday, there was an indication. There was a correction on Tuesday, but it was also reversing on Tuesday. It was pushing up also. So I knew on Tuesday that I did not want to be taking a trade because we didn't actually get the full correction that I would have liked to see. I would like to see price back down here before I think about buying it, not up here. So that's why I wasn't considering buys earlier in the week, even though price was bullish. Then price ranged for some time, technically, and then by Wednesday, New York session price had made that high, and this is the indication that I was looking to trade off after we had the correction on Thursday. So Friday, New York session comes flying around, and I get in around 4770 or 4771, if you like. Stop loss below the low that was actually created just before news dropped. So I got into the markets around 1 p.m. I'll be honest, because I knew volume was going to come in the news. So I liked where price was at that time, even though it technically broke a minor low here. I still liked where it was because it made this massive rejection at this fair value gap here, and obviously we're still above these lows. So I generally felt comfortable taking price buys above here based on these minor lows that were created just off this rejection of fair value gap. Because obviously we have bearish indications, price is clearly shifting up, telling us that it's bullish. So I felt this was a right time to trade because volume was in the markets when PPI dropped. So price was just in the right place at the right time for me to take buys right here. I was willing to accept with the risk if price decided it was going to push down. I know sometimes you just got to accept this. I've seen this happen many times before. There was a chance the price after news dropped could have pushed down, broke this low, collected liquidity, and still rejected and went and did this thing or whatever. It could have happened because I've seen that happen a lot with news. It'll just take liquidity. It'll just like break the highs and lows generally that were created before news dropped. So, I mean, although that's kind of what happened to the upside, and we didn't really move too much after that. Like there was, other than when the news dropped, which at 1:30 here, this was basically the news candle. So I was in the trade a little bit before. Price is pushing up all the way up here, and price was all the way. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I think it was like 2 p.m. So like half an hour after news dropped. Like I'd entered the trade in 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. I looked like an hour later, and we were up here. And so basically, I saw price exactly here, like touching, just tapping. Like you know, on MT5, it has to like push a little bit beyond to actually trigger your target. Like it was literally tapping my target. I seen it tap my target, but obviously it wasn't triggering me out. So I just ended up closing it, and thank God I did, because in the grand scheme of things, having my target above the highs would have like actually fucked me, because like I did on MT5, because it wouldn't have actually triggered me, even though price clearly pushed, I think 33, 34 pips, and my target obviously just above the highs was just about 35 pips, so it really was minuscule in the amount that it like rejected and didn't break the highs. As you can see, it came so fucking close to breaking the highs, but it actually didn't. Just massively rejected. And sometimes this can happen. This is just like, fortunately, like this can happen due to news. Also, I'm going to go into the PPI numbers were very good for USD, so it fueled. Oh no, they weren't very good. No, they were bad for the USD. Sorry. So it fueled the dollar weakness, which inverse is going to make the stock market be bullish. And well, it just further fuels. It doesn't make. It's not like it's guaranteed, but it just further fuels the overall bullish bias. The fact of having the dollar weaker, you know, because that fuels like the stock market bulls in the inverse. So that's another confirmation, which we'll just quickly get that on the screen there. PPI numbers, you can see the missed at 1:30 p.m. USD, 1:30 p.m. GMT. Friday the 12th January, we missed the forecast. What the hell? Oh, so no, so this was on, apparently this was on, I thought this was missed. I swear when I looked at this when it first dropped, it was missed. But anyway, the core PPI missed, so overall, well, this was like forecast, so like it wasn't better than forecast, it was like the exact, so it wasn't exactly positive news, but yeah, this was considered bad news because it was actually less than the forecast. It was 0%, and the forecast was 0.2. Forecast was 0.1 for the PPI month to month, and it came at 0.1, so it hit target up with that one. So yeah, that just followed without my, for fuck's sake, guys. I don't know what the fuck's happened with my trading view, but without like the actual setup with the price action and stuff, and like the timing, like with the sessions and stuff, and where price was at that time, it didn't make sense to just take that trade based off that news, basically. But like that was like it wasn't like, because had I questioned probably holding my trade had it behaved this way, like after this candle closes, like I'd be questioning things. I'm not gonna lie, if I was still in the trade. But thank God I was out of the trade before all of this rejection happened, because I think I closed the trade when I saw price would up here. Price was pushing bullish up here nicely, and I closed the trade and I put my phone back in my pocket, because I was out at the time, like I was holding the trade while I was out, and yeah, I didn't see this rejection until after I came home and looked at the charts. So it was like quite wild to see this. I wouldn't have probably been comfortable holding it had I seen that much of a rejection at the start of the session. So just fueled the volume for these buys. Price was in a nice place. We had filled the fair value gap. We were at a low after an impulsive move to the highs earlier in the week on Wednesday. We had corrected and price was in a nice place to buy in session. So I thought, why not go into the lower time frames and find an entry. And I found an entry, yeah, just before the news. But yeah, I was comfortable. Mainly, I feel very comfortable taking trades. I'm not gonna lie, because I've took a lot of these trades now on SPX. I feel when price action is very clean like this. Like this is lovely stuff. This is exactly what I like to see on the hourly and like the 30-minute whatever. Very very clean. And price was respecting the bullish narrative the whole time, like perfectly here. So it just made sense. It made sense, and like I said, bro, I've took many of these trades, so I feel very comfortable taking SPX trades in a New York session. If the price action is looking very good going into New York session, and I've had like the rest of like this, because basically this whole week set up for that move or that trade, if you like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday set up for this trade on Friday to end the week. So yeah, I'm very blessed I actually got out of that trade and didn't like wait for my target to actually get triggered out. Because I'm totally okay with like 2 pips shy of my target. Like that's totally fine for me. If obviously in hindsight I can say that, but at the time when price was pushing up nicely, I didn't think it'd fuck me that bad. But yeah, in my conscious, because that's happened a few times now. Like I don't know if you've the recent trades, and it's quite unusual. I don't like the fact that now, like when I've just started to document them, it started to do this quite often, because I really didn't do it that often. But now I'm gonna start like putting maybe my targets like where the candle closes are, rather than like where the wicks are. You know what I mean? Like the actual highs, like because especially on MT5, because it has to move like beyond the trigger to actually trigger it out. So it's not like when it taps it or taps the price that you TP that it actually, no, it has to push beyond that because of spread and stuff. So to actually trigger you out. So it's there's sometimes you will get fucked like this. Like if I wasn't looking at the trade like when news was popping, then I probably would have got fucked. The trade is still valid, by the way, guys. It's just closed now, so we've got to wait to see what price is gonna do when it opens on Monday. But because it hasn't broke this low here, we are still bullish, and we broke these highs nicely, this minor highs. So it's going along with the bullish narrative so far. It's just price action is very disgusting right now. It's fucking moving sideways. So hopefully we can get some volume to next week, but I don't believe there's going to be much bullish volume on Monday because of it being a bank holiday in the US. So it's really not going to have a ton of volume on Monday. I don't expect a lot, but we're still bullish technically. But I'm out of the trade now because I closed it manually like earlier in the day when news dropped, because it moved very very fast to my TP. Like all of a sudden price was here before news, and then boom, it was gone. So yeah, man, I just wanted to do a quick breakdown of this trade and a close to the week. The third trade I took this week, I believe that makes like the 4th trade I took this year or something like that, 4th or 5th, I remember. I'll have to check. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep it up with documenting all these trades for the year, or at least for January. Yeah, I'm going to do hopefully a forecast for next week and what potential positions I'm looking for, or what sort of price action I'm looking for coming into next week. I don't see anything so far that I actually want to see early. I actually want to take early in the week, so I think chances are I'm going to be expecting the setups to formulate earlier in the week and then potentially get some entries in later in the week. But I'm totally okay with not even trading at all next week, or taking one setup. I'm really not fussed. I had a very good week. Used very low risk and got a decent percentage return just for the week. 3 trades, 3 through 3. And yeah, man. SPX buys from 4771 to 48. I think it was like 05 basically. Yeah, 4805. 404, with the stop loss below 4760. So yeah, man, good buys. Obviously now I feel a lot different about the buys because of this major rejection. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable holding the trade right now. I'm glad I'm out, like I said, but in the moment I didn't know price was gonna fucking do this. I wouldn't have cared too much had it broke the highs and then done this. Like, this would not bother me, but it came so fucking close and then rejected. It didn't even like actually break the highs. That's what leads me to concern them. We potentially might fill this wick and break the highs anyway, because we haven't actually broke any major lows. So I'm gonna be sitting on my hands to wait and see what we can wait and see what SPX does for anything else. But buys were nice. Well over a 1 to 2. Well, technically it was a 1 to 3 because I only risked like 10 pips, just over 10 pips. Yeah, sick, man. I'll tap in with you guys probably on Sunday, and yeah, man, we'll document some more and break down some more charts. But yeah, I hope you guys stay blessed. And I hope you guys had a sick week this week trading. I hope you guys learned a lot. And yeah, man, take care. Peace.